So the only reason I think people don't think that you can wash these and reuse them is because they tend to lose the ability to stay rolled up, like when you squash them, and they're thin enough so that you can insert them into your ear, but when they're still damp or when they've got moisture still inside them, you can't roll them up because you squeeze them and they don't stay squashed. They bounce straight back out, and of course you can't put them in your ear when they're like that. But if you do leave them long enough to dry out completely and return back to the 25mm original size, you will find that they will work perfectly. You can roll them up and insert them no problem. But that's probably why I think most people don't think you can reuse the Howard Light or even any other brand of earplugs. These ones here, the hard foam ones, I might use them in the garage if I'm grinding or something, but I don't use them as a general rule because they're so hard. They tend to hurt after a little while inside your ear. So whereas these ones, the Howard Light ones, they block the sound out very well, but they're a softer foam and they don't hurt your ears if you use these all the time. So yeah, I think that's the main reason, guys. If there's a bit of moisture still and you measure them and they're 26mm or 27, that means the moisture hasn't evaporated from them. They haven't dried out properly and they won't roll up properly. So you've really got to let them dry out. Okay. Hey guys, this is Ratcat. Today I am talking about should you refurbish your earplugs, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I use these a lot because I live in a little bit of a noisy neighbourhood, and having earplugs in really helps me to get a good night's sleep. So I'm talking about the Howard Light Max. So these are called Max. They're very good. They block out all the sound. Howard Light. Now I know they're only $25 for a pack of 100 or so. They're pretty cheap. But so why would you bother? Well, my question is, why wouldn't you bother? If you can refurbish them and reuse them, why wouldn't you? All I do is simply throw, because I use a pair I go through a pair in probably 4 days. By about the 5th day, they're pretty grotty. It's time to give them a wash. So I just throw them in the washing machine. Now you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't they go down the drain or get sucked in? Because some things like coins do in your washing machine, but no, these don't. So the last time I washed about 20, this weekend I washed about 20, but you have to let them dry out naturally. So all you do is you sit them on your windowsill or whatever. I'm going to show you. This one on the right here, that's an original. It hasn't been washed and it's brand new. So let's just measure the size. If we go from the bottom, looks to me like 25mm exactly. That would be 25mm, I would say. Now one that I washed, and these have been sitting for about 3 days, so they're starting to dry out, but they're not fully dried out. What you've got to do, you've got to let them dry out naturally, sit them on your windowsill, and just let them dry out till they've reached back to the original size. And I'll show you, if you have a look, these were bigger because they had water in them. The spinning cycle does take out some of the water, but not all of it, so because it's a spongy substance, it's going to absorb water. So let's see. Currently we're sitting on 27, so it's 2mm higher than original. 2mm, so that's a fair bit. That's swollen because of the water. If you have a look, it's that much bigger, 2mm. So I'm going to let these sit. I'm not sure. That looks like it hasn't been washed. Maybe it hasn't. Don't know. These two have both been washed. So I've got about 30 sitting on my my windowsill right now. So I'll leave these. It could take 2 or 3 weeks for them to get back to original size. Now, if you're going to save $20, why not? And believe me, they work just as well as original. Maybe, I don't know, 1/3 of a decibel less potent as original, but I will keep washing them until, well, I don't know, they might last another 5 years. Until they're so tattered and torn, I've got to throw out and buy another set. Give it a go. If you if you think it's rubbish, it's up to you. It depends on how wealthy you are. If you've got tons of money to throw away. Also, I think about the environment too, because the less stuff you throw into hard rubbish. And I know they're tiny, but it all makes a difference, doesn't it? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Catch you later, guys. Bye.